Goalkeeper. The goalkeeper is the only player allowed to use their hands, but only inside the penalty area. Their most important job is simple. Don't let the ball cross the goal line. But modern goalkeepers aren't just shot stoppers anymore. They're often the first player who starts an attack. Some goalkeepers stay close to their goal and rely on lightning-fast reflexes. Others rush out of their box to stop dangerous attacks before they even begin. And some are so good with their feet that they almost look like midfielders. Today's elite keepers are expected to do all three. A goalkeeper doesn't just save shots. They organize the defense, command the penalty area, and often start attacks with a single pass. In modern football, the goalkeeper can be the first attacker as well as the last defender. And speaking of defenders, this brings us to the players standing right in front of the goalkeeper. Center backs. If football teams had bodyguards, these would be them. Center backs play in the middle of the defense, and their job is to stop the opposition from scoring. They block shots, win headers, make tackles, and protect the space in front of the goal. But here's where things get interesting. Not all center backs play the same way. Some defenders are calm and elegant on the ball. They can launch attacks with long passes and help their team keep possession. Others are more physical. Their mission is simple: win every duel and clear every dangerous ball. Modern football demands much more from center backs than ever before. They are expected to defend, pass, lead, and sometimes even score important goals from corners. And while center backs protect the middle, someone has to defend the wide areas. That's where the fullbacks come in. Fullbacks. Fullbacks play on the left and right sides of the defense. Years ago, their job was mostly defensive. Stay back, stop the winger, and protect the flank. Then football evolved, and fullbacks became much more than defenders. Today, fullbacks are among the hardest working players on the pitch. They sprint forward to support attacks, deliver crosses into the box, and then race all the way back to defend. Some fullbacks prefer to stay deep and focus on defending. Others attack so often that they almost look like wingers. And then there are inverted fullbacks. Instead of staying wide, they move into central areas and help control the midfield. It's one of the biggest tactical changes in modern football. But if you think fullbacks run a lot, wait until you hear about the next position. Wingbacks. Imagine combining a defender and a winger into one player. That's a wingback. Wingbacks usually play in systems with 3 center backs behind them. Because they have extra defensive support, they're given more freedom to attack. The problem? They have to cover almost the entire side of the pitch by themselves. One minute, they're defending near their own goal. The next minute, they're crossing the ball into the opponent's penalty area. This role demands incredible stamina, speed, and tactical awareness. A great wingback can completely change the shape of a team, turning defense into attack in just a few seconds. But none of these attacking runs matter if a team can't control the middle of the pitch. And that's where one of football's most important players comes in. Defensive midfielder. Think of this player as the team's bodyguard. The defensive midfielder plays just in front of the defense and protects the back line from dangerous attacks. Whenever opponents try to counterattack, this player is usually the first one trying to stop them. But that's only half of the job. Great defensive midfielders are also excellent passers. They receive the ball from defenders and decide where the next attack begins. Some defensive midfielders are aggressive ball winners, constantly making tackles and interceptions. Others prefer to stay calm, controlling the rhythm of the game with smart passing and intelligent positioning. And the best players can do both. You might not always notice them during a match, but when a team doesn't have a good defensive midfielder, everyone notices. Now that we've protected the defense, it's time to meet the players who connect everything together. Central midfielders. If defenders are the shield and strikers are the sword, midfielders are the brain. They link the defense and the attack. They pass, run, defend, create, and sometimes even score. No position requires more versatility. Some central midfielders are called box-to-box players because they seem to appear everywhere. They help defend near their own goal and then arrive in the opponent's penalty area just moments later. Others prefer to dictate the tempo of the game. They slow things down, speed things up, and decide how their team plays. And then there are creative midfielders who constantly look for dangerous passes and attacking opportunities. The best midfielders don't just play the game, they control it. But there is one player whose entire job is to unlock defenses and create magic in the final third. Attacking midfielder. This player is often called the team's magician. The attacking midfielder, or the number 10, usually plays just behind the striker and is responsible for creating chances that nobody else can see. When a defense is organized and spaces are tight, this is the player everyone looks to. A great number 10 can change a game with a single pass, a clever dribble, or a perfectly timed run. But not every attacking midfielder plays the same way. Some stay in central areas and constantly look for killer passes. Others move freely across the pitch, appearing on the wings or dropping deeper to collect the ball. And some are goal-scoring midfielders who arrive late into the box and finish attacks themselves. These players thrive under pressure because the smallest mistake from the defense can become a huge opportunity. But even the most creative midfielder needs teammates making runs ahead of them. Which brings us to one of football's most exciting positions, wingers. If you love speed, skills, and dribbling, you probably love wingers. Wingers play on the left and right sides of the attack. Their job is to stretch the defense, beat defenders one-on-one, and create chances. When a winger receives the ball, something exciting usually happens. Some wingers stay wide and send dangerous crosses into the penalty area. Others prefer to cut inside onto their stronger foot and shoot. And then there are inside forwards, players who start wide but spend most of the game looking to score goals themselves. Modern football has transformed this position. Many of today's top goal scorers actually began their careers as wingers because playing wide gives them space to run at defenders. And here's the scary part for defenders. A great winger can change an entire match with just one moment of brilliance. But no matter how many chances are created, someone still has to finish them. That's the responsibility of the player standing closest to the opponent's goal. Some of the world's biggest stars, like Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Jr., play in these wide positions. Striker? The striker has the most famous job in football. Score goals. Sounds simple, but it might be the hardest job on the pitch. Strikers are constantly surrounded by defenders. They have very little space and often get only 1 or 2 clear chances in an entire game. The very best strikers don't need many opportunities. They only need one. There are several different types of strikers. A target man uses strength and height to hold up the ball and bring teammates into the attack. A poacher lives inside the penalty area, always waiting for rebounds or loose balls. A complete forward can do almost everything: dribble, pass, create, and score. Some strikers rely on power. Others rely on speed. Some score with their feet. Others dominate in the air. But every great striker shares one thing in common. They remain calm when everyone else is panicking. However, football has one attacking role that completely changed the way people think about strikers. And it's one of the smartest tactical ideas ever created: the false nine. Now imagine a striker whose job is to leave the area where strikers normally score. Instead of waiting inside the penalty area, this player drops into midfield. At first it sounds strange. Why would a striker move away from goal? Because confusion creates space. When the striker drops deep, defenders face a difficult decision. Do they follow him and leave space behind? Or do they stay in position and allow him time on the ball? Either choice can be dangerous. This movement creates openings for wingers and midfielders to attack. The false nine isn't just a goal scorer. They're also a creator, a playmaker, and a tactical puzzle. This role requires intelligence, excellent first touch, quick passing, and an incredible understanding of space. Not every player can do it. In fact, very few can. And that's why the false nine remains one of the most fascinating positions in football. So, what have we learned? The goalkeeper protects the goal. The defenders protect the space. The midfielders control the game. The attackers create and score. And every position, no matter how different, has one purpose: help the team win. Which football position is your favorite, and which one would you play? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more football content before the FIFA World Cup 2026 ends.